This is Sandy with QualityStocks. Today's Monday, October 11th, 2010. And today we're going to take a look at ACAD Pharmaceuticals. This is a NASDAQ global market stock trading under the ticker ACAD. The day just opened. You can see this gapped up and has actually slid back down a little bit. Low volume so far, under 17,000 shares. Right now it's at 89 cents. It's a play that had a solid support level through here, right around $1. Nice double bottoms, tried to make a move. Slipped back down, fell through it. A lot of times what will happen with plays that break through a good support level like that is they'll come down, they'll form a little base, and they'll come right back up and challenge the bottom side of that support again. So this we're going to be keeping an eye on with ACAD. Getting some hints from the indicators of the possibility of this happening. So you're getting an uptrend in the MACD and the PPO, saying that a possible bullish cross is coming. The ADX is in a proper position to allow a move off the bottom to happen. Still in a trading pattern, just over 20, positive DI and negative DIs, positioned properly to allow a turn. The MFIs are a little bit ugly at this point, as they're all kind of turned down. 21 in a bit of a sideways channel, 14 and 21, both making moves down to oversold areas. So we're going to keep an eye on them to reverse. At least they're all in close proximity with each other, which oftentimes will facilitate a nicer move. So it's nice to see them all together. Not getting too much from the accumulation distribution or shaken money flow, except for we are seeing a little bit of turn already in both of them. Selling pressure is obviously overwhelming buying pressure throughout this is about the last 6 months or so. So we're going to want to see this try and make a move back towards zero and let buying pressure start to overtake selling pressure. CCI we talk about all the time is the break of negative 100 for bottom feeders. We'll use that as a buy, and if it breaks back down, it's a quick sell and exit to minimize losses. But it does have a recent uptrend to it and has just broken through negative 100, so this is something to keep an eye on. Full stow trying to come off the bottom. Just making a nice move, flattening out a little bit today because of the selling that's come in so far. This can trade in oversold territory for an awful long time, so what we need to see is this try and break back up through 20 and put some kind of positive momentum to the chart. Put a trend line somewhere through this area on the tricks. Of course, a no valley has really been established, and it turns relatively slow. So we're going to look for this just to try and create a higher low and create the trend back towards zero. And pay attention to this trend line being broken. We want to get this out of this downtrend channel it's starting to establish. So if it turns and bounces off of here, down the road, we're going to look for that trend line to be broken. RSI's made a quick snap down so far. Because of this red candle that's being established today, you can see that they were making a nice move upward until this little bit of selling has come in so far this morning. So when you do it intraday like this, it becomes a little bit difficult because if this starts to see a little bit of buying pressure, this turn down is going to change right away and you'll never even notice it by the end of the day. What it'll be is a straight line upward if there is buying pressure. What's important for it is hold that very bottom support. It's only about 5% away. So if it does want to slip back down, it needs to hold 87. Not a very super strong support because it's only touched it once. This area up here around 88 is probably a little bit more important. But just holding this general area and trying to form a base is what you want to see happen. There's not going to be too much immediate resistance. There will be a little bit right here where it bounced off of today. A little bit right through there. It's going to have a tough time. A little bit more up here around 96. But if this starts to see some volume come in, it should go through this first resistance relatively easily and the second one relatively easily as well. This one will be a little bit tougher because there comes the 20-day moving average, that middle Bollinger Band, first real source of moving average resistance. So that might be a little bit tougher. And again, it's getting pretty close to $1, getting pretty close to the bottom side of that support. We don't always go for the big home runs. This right here is about a 10% play. If it can go up here and test the bottom side, which is still nice gains. We pay attention to this 50-day, which is dynamic. It's at $1.03 right now, so it's going to come down and add more resistance to this $1 level on top of being a common psychological barrier. So it has a lot stacked against it at $1. That's why you keep an eye on it, see how it reacts when it gets up near it. And then if it can break through that, that should establish itself as a very strong support level when it wants to come back down and retrace. So those are the kind of things to keep an eye on with ACAD. Again, hold this bottom. We need to see more volume come in. The 16,000 shares is pretty minuscule for today. See, this typically trades somewhere around that 150, 200,000 shares. So we'll see if it can reach those levels by the end of the day today. The market just opened. Just wanted to bring this chart up again as a possible base, as a possible move up to test the bottom size. It's a very common thing you see in technical analysis when you look at a lot of charts. This one has a possibility of doing that as well. So we're going to keep an eye on it and see if it holds this support level. As always, this video chart is merely my interpretation. This is Andy with QualityStocks. Thank you for watching and trade smart.